Hi, first grade. Today we're going to work on pages 18 and 19 in our geography books. And we're going to be learning about the country of Australia. Did I say country? Well, it is its own country, but it's also a continent. So we're going to work on the continent of Australia today. So get your geography books out and turn to page 18 and 19. It looks like this. We're going to learn about Australia. Now, Australia is special for 3 reasons, and I already mentioned 2 of them. 3 reasons why Australia is special. Australia is the smallest continent. So when you compare it to the size of the other continents, remember there's 7 total, Australia is the smallest. And that makes it easy to remember. Now it's also an island, which means it's surrounded by water. So any area of land that's surrounded by water is called an island. This is the only continent that's completely surrounded by water on all sides. You see it over here on the map? It's surrounded by water on all sides. I said it was special for 3 reasons. It's the smallest, it's an island, it's also a nation. So it doesn't share its land with any other country or nation. Country or nation, those are the same words. They describe the same thing. Now think about our continent, North America. Who do we share our land with? Do you remember? We share our land with Canada and Mexico, and there's even more countries lower than Mexico that we share our continent with. Many people call that area Central America. Now, Australia doesn't share its land with any other country or nation. It's its own nation. All right, now, we've been doing these pages a lot. Let's start at the star. I would like you to read with me. Follow along. Okay, I'm starting at the start. Australia. Australia is the smallest continent. It's also an island country. So those 2 sentences tell you why it's special. The 3 reasons. It's the smallest continent, it's an island, and there's only one country that occupies the continent. And that's also called Australia. Okay, now I'm going to start on my letters, and I call them bubbles because I circle them as I go. So bubble A. The Indian and Pacific Oceans surround Australia. So if you're looking at this map on page 19, it labels the oceans the Indian and the Pacific. And the Pacific Ocean on the world map is all the way up here, but it's the same ocean surrounding it. And the Indian Ocean. Now we know the southern is here, but for this paperwork, we're going to say that it's surrounded by 2 oceans. Okay, now I'm on bubble B. The center of the continent has huge, hot deserts and dry grasslands. What does the center mean? It means the middle. So the middle of the continent has huge, hot deserts and dry places. Okay, now I'm on bubble C. The land is greener along the edges of Australia. Rainforests are in the northeast. Let's talk about what that means along the edges. Well, the edge of the continent would be the place where the water meets the land. Okay, so on the map where the orange and the blue meet. So it's greener there, more plants are there because it's near the water. Rainforests are in the northeast. So the northeast would be up and to the right. Using a compass rose, you identify north as going up and east as going to the right. So this area over here is where the rainforests are. We'll talk about that again on the next page. Okay, now I'm on bubble D. Most of the mountains are in the eastern part of the continent. So use your compass rose again and find the eastern part. The eastern part would be the right side of the continent. Okay, now I'm going to move on to 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here's my instructions in the bubble that I'm pointing to with the arrows. Use the map of Australia on the other page. Follow the directions. Number 1, the island to the south of the continent is part of the country of Australia. Circle the name of this island. So now I'm going to go to page 19, and I'm going to find the island. Let me read that part again. The island to the south of the continent is part of the country of Australia. Okay, just wanted to make sure I had my instructions right. Here's the continent of Australia, and here's the island that's south. Can you read the name of the island that's south of the continent of Australia? Can you read it? You could look at it better on your page in front of you. Tasmania. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Go ahead and circle it. Well, there used to be a cartoon when Mrs. Coppola was growing up called a cartoon character called the Tasmanian Devil. Now, that was animal fantasy, but there is a real animal that lives in Tasmania, so part of the continent of Australia, and it's called the Tasmanian Devil. You could read about that more if you wanted to look it up. Okay, now I'm going to go to number 2. The largest city in Australia is Sydney. Label Sydney. Now they want you to find it by locating the dot on the map. And I gave you a little bit of help by beginning Sydney with its uppercase S. Sydney is the name of a city, and that's a proper noun. So when you spell it, you would spell it with an uppercase S. Now, make sure you can refer back to this page so you can spell it yourself. It's too small for you to read here. I'll help you. So there's your uppercase S, Y-D-N-E-Y. And I'll go ahead and label it on my map too. And then I'll hold it up to show you. Everybody say Sydney, the largest city in Australia. So now your map should look like that. Okay, now I'm on number 3. The pointy piece of land in the northern part of Australia is mostly rainforest. Which direction is north? North is up. So go to your continent of Australia and find the pointy piece of land in the northern part. Did you find it? The pointy piece of land in the northern part. So I would say the triangular piece of land because it's shaped like a triangle. It says to color it green. It's green because it's near the ocean. Remember, the edges of Australia are green because a lot of plants grow there, near the water. And this is where the rainforests are. So I colored the pointy part of the northern area of Australia green. That was number 3. Now I'm on number 4. Color the desert area of Australia brown. Now when you look at the map, how do you know what part is desert? You have to use one of the tools. Would you use the compass rose or would you use your map key? Oftentimes map comes with keys, and those keys help you discover things on the map using symbols. Do you see the symbol for the desert? Just a lot of polka dots. So that's showing you where the deserts are located in Australia. And remember, we already read that they're in the center or the middle of the continent. So color that area brown to show desert. Now, I'm not going to color that area brown. You can do that by yourself. I wanted to talk to you about a couple animals that are special to Australia because they're native there. So when God created the earth and he created animals, he put special animals in special places and gave them their adaptations to survive. And can you think about an animal that is common, very common in Australia? Can you think about that? Did you say that one? The kangaroo. The kangaroo is native to Australia, and there's so many there. It's almost like as many cows as we have. So as you drive around Australia, it's common to see one of these. They're all over the place over there. They're wild animals, though. They don't make good pets. Now, there's another animal that's commonly found in Australia and native to Australia, and it's the koala bear. The koala bear. Now, one of the students in my class did her report on the koala bear, and so when I went to draw the koala bear today for this assignment, I went to look at hers. Jada, are you there? Jada wrote her report on the koala bear, her animal report. And so I'm going to share her drawing of a koala bear with you. And then I'll show you how to draw it in steps. So here's Jada's animal report, and there's her koala bear. Isn't that fantastic? Jada's just such a great artist. And let me read to you the adaptations. So Jada says that koalas use their camouflage to hide from predators, and koalas have claws to climb trees. And then listen to this adaptation. Koalas have fur on their bottoms to use as a cushion when they sit on hard branches. So they have a furry bottom to keep it comfortable when they sit on the branches. That's a great detail, Jada, and a great drawing. Now, if you want to draw a koala bear by yourself and you want to use steps, here it is. I like to draw, and so for me, if we were back in class, I would have my students draw a koala bear, and I would probably put it somewhere on this map. But you don't have to, it's just an idea. And if you want to draw your own koala bear, here are the steps. You see that? If you take each step slowly, you can draw your own koala bear. And then you could add color. So if you want to draw it, just put me on pause with this paper up and draw your own koala bear. I'll show you this side. On this side, they added color and a branch for the koala to hold on to. Okay, first grade, thanks for joining me again today.